business owner in the state of Mississippi has a requirement to keep from injuring willfully anybody that comes on their premises and to keep the place reasonably safe. So these are legal terms that I'm using, but it does give a baseline for that business owner. So premises liability cases involve situations where the public comes on to a business owner's property and is injured for some reason. It can't be something that's open and obvious, meaning a brightly yellow colored parking bumper that you trip over is not going to be a case an attorney can take because there's not liability there because you should have seen that bright yellow bumper. But if you go inside the business and an employee does something stupid and drops something on your head and you did nothing wrong, well then there would be some premises liability in that situation. The types of injuries can be anywhere from a slip and a bruised hip to a death. It just depends on the facts of the case. For instance, we've talked about the slip. That's one type of premises liability. But what about the situation where somebody goes into someone's parking lot and gets shot by a violent offender? That's also premises liability if the business owner didn't do the right thing to protect the public from that situation. So there's a myriad of types of cases. What if the person goes into a store and something is dropped on their head? So the injuries can be anywhere from minor to major. A premises liability case brings to mind one thing, and that's someone walking through a grocery store and slipping on a banana peel that someone left on the floor. But that's just one example of a premises liability case. If a person is injured while on someone else's business property and that business owner is at fault or negligent, that's a premises liability case. So the types of cases that can be considered premises liability are completely varied, and there's a wide array of types of cases that we would see in a premises liability case. The differentiating factor is that it happened on a business owner's property who opens that business up to the public. In a premises liability case, it's probably not as imperative that you act super fast and call an attorney and get an investigator there, but it may be. Think about this situation. If a grocery store has spilt something on the floor and didn't take the proper steps to clean it up and knew it was there and they didn't put up signs and someone slips and really is injured and that was on video, if you don't act fast, that video could disappear. So it's important in that situation that an attorney get involved, get their investigator into it, and get that evidence secured. At least send a letter to the company saying, we're telling you do not destroy this evidence, we know it exists, we're going to get it. Another situation that might occur, let's say a hotel has a pool, and this is a case that I've actually handled, and an individual slips by the pool and hurts themselves because the hotel didn't have the right type of tiles on the floor. There's certain kind of slip resistant tiles they're supposed to have. They didn't have them here, so this person slipped and was injured. Well, maybe you don't feel like you need to act fast because it's tiles around the pool. But what if that hotel comes in and changes the tiles out to the proper tiles before you take action? So the point is, it's always best to contact an attorney as quick as possible. It's not going to hurt anything to do that, so why not be safe? The goal of a business premises that has caused an injury is to keep you from collecting from their insurance company. Their insurance company is going to try to hold on to their money. That's why it's so important to contact an attorney to gather evidence to prove your case so that you can collect from them. In a premises liability case, it's really no different than any other negligence case in the state of Mississippi as far as what types of damages you're able to collect. It can be medical bills, it can be lost wages, it can be pain and suffering damages, and it can be loss of enjoyment of life damages. In a premises liability case, who's liable? Well, the business owner for one, but the business owner is likely required to have a policy of insurance that would cover this claim. So the insurance company would ultimately pay. But just like any other negligence case in the state of Mississippi, if you had to file a formal complaint, the business owner or the business would be named as the defendant, not the insurance company. But the insurance company is still involved. Client communication is the most important aspect that needs to be had between an attorney and a client. Really in life, communication. Within our team, we always emphasize we've got to over-communicate to each other what's going on, and we do. And we also try to make that spill over to communications with our clients. We strive to always get back with people. We say 12 hours. Within 12 hours is our absolute goal. And we hope, and most of the time it's quicker than that. But there's got to be a response. If somebody has a question or concern, there's no question or concern that we would ever say we're just going to ignore you or we're not going to worry about that. We will always respond. If someone's hurt in the state of Mississippi, or if they have a legal issue that we might be able to help them with, it's always probably nerve-wracking for them to call the attorney the first time. We get that. So what we have is just a free strategy session where we can hear your story and what happened in your situation so that we can provide you with some guidance. Whether we take your case or we don't, we'll provide you with guidance. So it's really a low stress call. First you'll call in and you'll speak to our receptionist, and she will listen to a little bit about what's going on, and then after that she'll transfer you to the appropriate attorney to really get into the nuts and bolts of what's going on so we can help you best.